Sorry, that was a big headache. Let's move forward. Whew, deep breath, and let's kick it off. All right, so International Convention. I know I'm extremely, extremely excited to go. Most of us are flying out August 23rd, and we have all the times for when each person is arriving. So I know Chris will probably be there before all of us to open up the Airbnbs. If you get there beforehand, just walk around the convention center to kill time, and then we'll get you to a point where you can drop your stuff off and get ready to go. So first thing I want to say is congratulations. I mean, you know, you know the people on our team who did not make this jump to get here, and that's okay. But they need to understand what that's going to do to their business. And the fact of the matter is attending convention is the single most important thing that you can do, singular event, to accelerate the growth of your business, period, the end. There's simply no other proven method to make it happen. I mean, you look at GoPro, Eric Worre's seventh skill. There's a reason it's the last skill, and there's a reason he puts so much emphasis on it, because it's so incredibly important to not only get to events, but to get your team to events as well. So, first thing we want to talk about is this, the business owner mentality, right? So, what does that mean, business owner mentality? Well, I can tell you is that for a lot of you, this is going to be your first convention. This is my second convention. I think this is Chris and Brian's. Maybe you can count it on two hands by now. Maybe you need a foot as well. But it's your convention. I put emphasis on your because it's your convention because it's your business. Now, I don't want you guys to get confused about the fact that even though you work with a team, that doesn't mean that you don't have to take the initiative to figure some of this stuff out on your own. Now, obviously, we're going to be here to support you. I'm here to support you. Sam's here to support you. Brian and Chris and Slackus, who's also been there before, we're all here to support you. But it's up to you to truly take ownership about what you're doing. So we're going to talk about this really quickly. New presentation. So, slideshow. Cool. So, here's the reality. You're a $1 million business owner. Now, some of us, myself included, may not treat this business like a $1 million business all the time. But the fact is, depending on your mindset, on how you show up to this event, it can pay massive dividends and be a huge investment. Or, like it says here, you can spend a lot of money and have a nice vacation in a cool city with a lot of fun people that you're going to get to meet. It's up to you. But like we've been kind of pressing you guys, it's up to you to take responsibility for yourself. Now, people are probably going to be asking me a lot of questions about convention, where things are, and I'm going to probably tell you to refer to this presentation so that I'm not repeating myself over and over again. Some people are kind of like those people who they sleep through their alarm, they're late to events, they don't wake up, they don't do the preparations and the necessary things to get there. And what I'm telling you is that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want this to be investment, if you want this to pay dividends, you need to prepare. Use this presentation as a way to prepare. If you want to take notes right now, I'd recommend it. So, look at this. So, rank advancements after a convention. This is the percentages of likelihood that you'll rank advance after you leave convention. Look at how much more likely you'll be to rank advance. I mean, this picture here really says 1,000 words. It's important to get there. So for you guys who are doing it, great. But that, even though you attend, does not mean that by the time you leave that you'll be hitting these rank advancements. It comes down to the consistency and the action you take because you attended, because your belief is so much higher. So we're going to get into kind of the nitty-gritty, a little bit more of the logistics. So the weather in Salt Lake City, for those of you who haven't been on the West Coast before, take it from me, it's going to be hot and it's going to be dry. That's what it's like outside. Now inside these big convention centers, it's going to be cool. So that means you want to dress in layers. You also want to be drinking a lot of water. I know I'm not a person who usually carries around chapstick and hand lotion. But when you're at these altitudes with dry air, you'll tend to get chapped lips, especially if you're not drinking a lot of water. So drink a lot of water, bring chapstick around if you don't like having uncomfortable lips, lotion if you don't like having uncomfortable hands and skin. And the most important thing, comfortable shoes. I think I looked at my step counter last time I was there, and I had walked like 8, 9 miles average per day. And that's just between walking around these convention centers. I mean, they're massive. You've never seen something so big before in your life. And getting from the convention center to our houses, which are a few blocks out, and we'll talk about that, but they're a few blocks out, so you guys are really going to be walking a lot, which also means that when you leave the house at the beginning of the day, you're going to want to bring with you everything that you're going to need. So here's the house addresses. Now, we haven't fully decided who's going to be at which house. Make sure you're paying attention because that's going to be coming in the next few days. And we're going to decide that based on who's fully committed with their payments. That's going to be the first way to decide. And then the second way is going to be first come, first serve. So house 1 and house 2, those are, let me get to the pictures really quickly. House 1, house 2, those are UU houses. Now there might be some other VAS people in there. But for the most part, that's going to be UU people. So look at how far away that is. That's not that close of a walk. You're going to probably need 10 to 15 minutes just to get to the convention center, not to mention that you want to be early. So let's talk about house rules. Now, Chris did us a huge, huge solid. Like, I can't stress this enough by booking these Airbnbs. I remember last convention, Slackus, Sam and I, and David Cohen, we were there, and we were in like a cramped, haunted hotel, which was great. I mean, we still got a ton out of it, but having these Airbnbs is amazing. Now, from my experience, like, guys, international convention is literally the most fun I've ever had at a USANA event. Not only is it fun, but you also get to learn so much. I mean, I've met people there who I still keep in contact with who act as kind of mini side mentors, and everyone has this ability. I mean, you just look at some of these people's name tags, and the more banners that they have on their name tags, generally speaking, the more accomplished they are in USANA. Don't be afraid to just walk up to these people and introduce yourself. Ask them questions. I mean, this is really the place. The beauty of network marketing is the successful people aren't out of the sphere. They're not unreachable. They're reachable, and they're very comfortable having conversations with you and giving you advice. So let's get back to house rules really quickly. Please, please be respectful. I mean, you guys know how to be respectful. This isn't a fraternity or a sorority or wherever you live right now. Treat this space with respect. Make sure you stay organized when you get there. And if anything were to go wrong, you're going to be responsible if you cause any damage. Airport logistics. So you guys are going to arrive. I know I get in there at about 10 p.m. There's a few ways to get around. Trax. That's like a tram that'll take you from the airport to downtown. If you're traveling with a bunch of people, Uber is also a great option, and there's options to split that amongst people. I know Lyft is really great too. If you have a Lyft code, ask me about it because they actually give you, the way it works is they'll give you $50 worth of credit, and they'll give you $5 per ride. So you'll get 10 credits of $5, which will be pretty much the cost to get from the house to a convention center or the house to the basketball arena. So Lyft is a really, really good option, and you'll be able to utilize that when you get there. So free shuttles, I don't know too much about that. If someone wants to jump in and talk about it, I doubt there's going to be a free shuttle, especially because we're in Airbnbs. And then taxis from the airport aren't bad if you're splitting amongst your peers.
Joey, in the past, people that were staying at hotels, a bunch of the hotels had a free shuttle to and from the airport. Mm-hmm. And I checked in on most of the hotels that we're staying at, and actually none of them have one. Waiting back for an answer on the Holiday Inn, but they might not have one anymore either. So that's why I had that up there for people in the hotels.
Cool. So that's probably not going to be an option, but like I mentioned before, there's a lot of easy ways. The airport's about 15 minutes out from where you're going to be at. It's a bit of a drive away, so just for that. So let's
go back one slide, Joey.
Yeah. Go for it.
So let me highlight, I circled the track station so you can get an idea how far of a walk that is. So it's a bit of a walk, and if you're getting there at night, it's probably not, the greatest idea to do that. But if you have time, you don't have a lot of luggage, and you're by yourself, that could work. For the people in the hotels, the tracks is actually an ideal way to do it. It just drops you off 2 blocks north if you're at the Hilton, or you could take it all the way around the corner to the bottom right and get off there, and it's like a block or a block and a half to be able to get to your hotel. So, for the people on the team, they're at the Holiday Inn, the Hilton, or the Fairfield Inn, which is about a block and a half south of where the map ends on this photo. But the tracks is a decent way, just depending on how you're getting there, and if not, the Lyft or Uber is the next best way.
Cool. Cool. So that's pretty much airport logistics. If you guys have any questions about that weren't answered here, feel free to reach out and offer them up. So let's move to main areas of activity. So pretty much the way convention works is you're split into the Salt Palace Convention Center, which is going to be where a lot of the breakout sessions are, where the discovery room is, which we'll talk a little bit, which is going to be super, super cool. The store is where you'll register. I would say, my opinion is the Salt Palace Convention Center is really the hub of convention. It's really the centerpiece of convention. But then the big stuff like the award events, the big general sessions, the opening session, and the gala and stuff like that will be happening at the Energy Solutions Arena, which is where the basketball stadium. All within walking distance, like we mentioned before. But it's just important to understand that when they're talking about the Energy Solutions Arena, you know where that's at, and when they're talking about the Salt Palace Convention Center, you know where that's at. And there's just kind of a bigger map for you to get a better feel of where everything is.
Yeah,
Cool.
it just the Energy Solutions Arena. That's how it shows up on here, and it's still on the map, but it's kind of the place formerly known as Solutions Arena, the Vivant Smart Home Arena. It's just that none of the documentation has changed. So, when people say the basketball stadium or the Energy Solutions or the Vivint Smart Home Arena, that's what it'll be.
Right. Yeah, they just changed sponsors fairly recently. So cool. So like I said before, you got the general sessions, the gala, the party. That's where the 5K is going to meet Saturday morning. I'm going to make a quick plug about the 5K. I actually skipped it last time. That's a really big regret. Just getting moving, especially on the Saturday when you're pretty tired, just kind of boosts your energy and your spirit for that final push through Saturday. On top of that, it's a great place for photo opportunities. Doing things that are active is a really great way to catch people's attention. Sitting in a big breakout session may not be as great of a picture, but doing a 5K is something where you can raise money for it, and it's a big attention grabber, especially on social media. But back to the convention center. So we got the product store over here. There's about 3 or 4 entrances. If you guys see my mouse, there's one entrance right over here. There's another entrance down here, and a lot of times when we're going from the convention center to the arena, you can walk through this part of the convention center and you'll be able to get to the arena just by crossing the street. So just know that you're not going to necessarily have to go outside to go in between. Oops, let's go back really quick. The Discovery Zone, they talked about this on the call that Lori did, and I think they did it on the Golden Above call. Chris, you want to hop in here and just say a quick plug about the Discovery Zone? Because I'm not very familiar. There's not too much information out there about what it is.
Yeah, so something with the new technology and the customization and everything that they're doing needs to be experienced. So this is an area where you're going to be able to experience new product technology and what's happening or what's to be and a lot of like experiencing product and science and everything.
Cool. So that's a cool new thing they've never done before, and I'm really, really excited to get to the Discovery Zone. I can say for our team, we're definitely going to want to hit that up earlier in convention, kind of like the tour. Which, if you go down here, you can see this is where the tour bus leaves. It's right by the entrance to where the training halls are at.
What one thing, Joey, with that, I think the coolness will happen starting on Thursday afternoon with that. I'm
The
sure there'll be
Discovery.
tons of stuff on Wednesday, but Thursday afternoon it'll be after they've
Okay.
announced all the new technology. But
All right, I'm going to make a note of that right now. Thursday
that's why I'm
afternoon.
saying get the manufacturing tour out of the way 7:30 on Wednesday morning at the bottom there. You don't need anything to go. You just hop a bus.
Cool. Yeah, the that's a really good photo op too, and actually seeing where the products are created at corporate. You know, if you've given a newspaper before, it's literally the first page is the corporate headquarters. So being able to tell someone that you've actually been there and been a part of it, they're going to feel that excitement, and it makes it all more real. I think one of the parts of a home-based business is you can lack belief at the beginning because you don't know where things are coming from. And as people, we like to know where it comes start to finish, especially if you're an analytical manufacturing guy like Chris. You like to know where something comes from so that you can talk about that. And doing the tour, I could say was a great place for really cool photo opportunities. You get to walk around, see the $1 Million Club stars on the walkway, and just really be a part of corporate and see where everything happens. So I'm a big fan of that tour, and I'm excited to do it again. So here's the basic floor plan of the convention halls. Now, pretty much how it works is they have different training stages based on the level you are in your business. So Hall D, for example, is going to be the basic stages. So if you're just getting started out in the business and you're learning some of the more fundamental basic skills, that area right there is probably going to be a place where you go to a lot, because that's going to be some really, really valuable information for you, and it's going to be really speaking a lot more directly to you. So next door you got Hall E, which is the intermediate stage. So I believe the Road to Achiever training is going to be over there. Um, and they're all within walking distance. I mean, you guys are going to get a really good feel for where everything's at once you take a walk through, and I would recommend getting there and before everything starts, just walking through and just getting an idea of where everything's at, because looking on a map, it's kind of a little bit overwhelming. I can promise when you get there, you'll have a really good idea of how everything's laid out once you take a walk through once or twice and just kind of get a good idea of that. So there's going to be different stages. So you got the tech stage, which I really like going to if you're big into social media, or if you're a little confused about using some of the online tools. The tech stage is a nice place to stop. The stage next to that, it has a lot of different like nutritional training. So if you're someone who's big into how the products work and how to market them to your customers, the nutritional place is really good. And especially this year, I can tell you that with the new products coming out, that stage is going to be a really hot place for a lot of people.
Let me jump in there real quick.
Yeah.
Also, there'll be a schedule for what training is available at every stage at every time, and there will be a Road to Achiever selection, or what or Road to Gold selection, or someone new. There'll be paths that they recommend, and so when you get your schedule after you register, you'll be able to pick and choose your own adventure. And my key point there is don't fall into the trap of saying, "Oh,
Hold on, we stopped being able to hear you. But I think what Chris was saying is don't fall into the trap of following the crowd. I mean, that's a really big part that I think not a lot of people talk about is even though a lot of your friends are interested in one stage, that doesn't mean that you can't go to that other stage that you're really interested in. Like we said, I mean, it all comes down to that business owner mentality. Whatever you're interested in, whatever you want to learn about, go do it. Don't be afraid to leave the group and check something out if it's interesting to you. Was that Chris? We still can't really hear you. If you want to jump
So,
back in.
am I back?
Yeah, you're good.
So that's exactly what I was saying. And for the health stage, Wednesday will be focused on MySmart and getting customers, and on Thursday it's going to be focused on the new technology. And
Sweet.
then on Friday, these stages will be focused a lot on the special speakers doing special sessions like John C. Maxwell and everything.
Great. And those are really, really powerful. I know for me, I seeing the speakers who do the general session in a bit of a smaller, more intimate area, I think there's even more value to be had. Um, and I just want to make a quick comment about attending the workshops. And I think for me, the best way that I did it. So this was something that a GSA guy named Phil told me, is that if you have some sort of device that can record, that has decent audio quality, what I would recommend is that you take that device, whether it be an iPad, an iPhone, whatever sort of device that you have, maybe even like a GoPro, although you shouldn't be filming these sessions. All of them are going to be available post convention, I think for like $20 to have access to, and you'll be able to go back to most of these sessions and look at them. But take an audio recording of the event, of the session, and really immerse yourself in the stage itself. I mean, convention's all about breakthroughs, and it could be one sentence, it could be one session that really is that paradigm shift that leads you to have massive success. The thing about taking notes and just kind of being like that guy who, the fact is there's going to be so much information thrown at you so quickly, it will not be possible for you to write everything down in your notepad the whole time. I mean, your hand's going to cramp up, you're going to be sweating, it's just not going to work. So from my experience, just immerse yourself in the event. If there's a tidbit here and there that you'll want to take away and write down, by all means do it and have your notebook out and be a good student and a good learner, but don't be afraid to immerse yourself. So let's just quickly talk about this. So you got workshops, right? So you have training sessions Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Like we said before, you got the basic business skills, the intermediate skills, you got the health stages, and the technology stages. The general sessions, what I'll say about the general sessions is that showing up early is so important. I mean, for the first time ever, convention is sold out. That means that basketball stadium is going to be filled to the brim with people. And because of the way they put the stage in, about 1/4 of that stadium is not able to be sat in, which means that we're all kind of crowded into a stadium that we don't have access to fully, which means getting to the general sessions early is really important. And we have a big, big group, which is really exciting, but at the same time, that means that saving seats for 40 people at one time is unrealistic. So that means that you need to be on top of your game, getting to these sessions early. I mean, obviously we're going to be trying to travel together as a group. We're going to be saying, all right, we're going here now so that we can get there early, but we have too big of a group to send 1 or 2 scout people and take sweatshirts and backpacks and things like that and just corner off areas. It's just not going to be possible, and it's going to be rude to other people who are trying to get there. We're going to try to do that to some degree, but the fact is you need to be on top of your game for getting to these general sessions early if you want to have a good seat. So like I said before, you can immerse yourself in the event. The Discovery Zone as well that Chris just touched on, the home office tours start Wednesday at 7:30. I think Chris said Thursday was what he recommended. I think Wednesday is what you actually meant, Chris.
Wednesday is what I meant. First
right,
thing.
so, right, first thing Wednesday morning. We all get in at some point on Tuesday. So we get there Wednesday, take the tour, and then we register. So you don't even need to be registered for convention to get on the home office tour bus. So you're going to want to get there, get on that bus, get the tour done, take those pictures, come back, and then register. And registration can take a little while. It took about 25 minutes for us last time. I can imagine that'll be at least double the time. And then the 5K charity run walk, which will be Saturday morning. So we kind of touched on this before, selecting workshops. Do what you're interested in. Follow, I mean, guys, it's like a playground for learning. Follow what you want to learn about. Don't just follow the group just because it's what they're doing. And for the Road to Achiever, congratulations on getting there. You guys will get some really cool opportunities as well. And more information will come out about that as we get closer to the date, which sessions are going to be where and stuff like that. Um, if you want any of these questions answered, a lot of them will be on the hub. Just go to the hub, go to events, international convention. Some of the slides that I'm about to show you, I literally took screenshots off of the hub. So the hub is going to be a great place to do that. And then also the USANA Live app opens on August 9th. Definitely grab that. And I think there's going to be in the app, you're going to be able to create your own schedule, kind of like at music festivals if you've ever been to those. You're literally going to be able to create your own schedule so you know where you want to go when. And even if it doesn't line up with your friends, that's okay. And then I think this is a good place to highlight this, but beyond the USANA Live app, Lori said in her webinar that they will not be printing out event schedules for everyone. It's just too much paper, and USANA's big in reducing their footprint. So I'm going to be printing out a schedule for myself. Make sure you guys put something together so that if your phone dies or for whatever reason the app may not be working, you still have a good idea of what's going on. So let's talk about what you want to bring clothes-wise. So depending on what airline you're bringing, you're going to have to pay for carry-on or for checked bags. A note that I would say here is there are some products that are offered at convention that you can't get anytime else. So what you're going to want to do is leave some space so that you can bring products back to try to sample out whatever it may be. I know for the guys who are flying Southwest, there's about 5 or 6 of us. We get 2 checked bags free. So if you're lacking space and you need someone to help you out, talk to the guys who are on Southwest. I know that's me, Bart, Eric Fields, Matt Carlin, and I think one other person. But we're going to be able to bring 2 checked bags. So just talk to us if you're lacking space. We're going to have a lot of space for you guys if you need that. So let's go through each day and talk about what you're going to want to bring clothes-wise. I'm going to reiterate comfortable shoes. I know you're going to want to look fancy and nice. I mean, how you present yourself is really important. But if you're wearing dress clothes and sneakers, it's not uncommon for a lot of people. Definitely bring your most comfortable pair of dress shoes. I know that's what I'm definitely going to be doing. So Tuesday, casual. You're going to be able to register. I don't know about the manufacturing tour on Tuesday, but Tuesday's when a lot of people are arriving, so whatever you want to travel in. What I'll say about traveling is that
Actually, Joey, I don't know if registering or the manufacturing tour are available. The manufacturing tour is available if you drive there,
right?
But I don't think register is available. They didn't say anything about that today.
Okay. So probably not then. What I'll say about Tuesday, though, is that's going to be a travel day for a lot of you guys. And I don't know if you've experienced this before, but I've actually had customers that I've gotten who I've just sat next to on planes. The point I'm trying to get at is dress fairly nicely on this plane ride. I mean, you're going to a business event. If you have that $1 million mindset that you should, of course you want to dress nicely, and people are going to be interested in what you have to say because you're dressing. So don't think just because you're young. I mean, I've met people, I've given them a bar to try on an airplane, and I've had customers who have bought products over and over just from the flight alone. So how you present yourself while you travel to these events is actually really important. Wednesday, casual to business casual. This is going to be the day where we take the tour, where we register. So casual to business casual would be something like khaki pants, a belt, a decent dress shirt. That would be business casual. Casual would be like a V-neck shirt, maybe some khaki pants or shorts, and some Sperry's or whatever you want to do it. You want to look nice. I mean, the way we present our team, think about when we have our presentations on campus for the UU guys. Think about how we want to dress there. I mean, that carries over. That sense of professionalism and that business mindset carries over. And then things start right around 1 o'clock. So you're not going to have to dress too nicely on Wednesday. Thursday, um, please buy that $5 USANA United States shirt. I just bought mine earlier. You can call in to customer service to get that shirt, and it's about $5. So really affordable shirt. Definitely buy it. It's going to be something that you want to work out in later, so it's not just going to be a one-time use. And it'll be really, really cool. I promise you guys, when everyone from their respective countries is sitting together and you get to show pride for your country. It's a really, really cool event. So make sure you buy the shirt. It's $5, and you'll get to use it over and over again. Like I said, reference the Facebook post for times where you can pick up the shirt. The Facebook post is in our Convention 2016 Facebook group. This is going to be another business casual day on Thursday. It's going to be a lot of general sessions and breakout sessions, business casual, comfortable shoes. Bring a backpack with food, with water bottles, surge packs, Rev 3s. Buy snacks and bars, bring those around. So I remember when I walked around, I'd have my backpack. I would have 2 shaker bottles, one for shakes and one for surge packs. And then I would also fill those with water when they were empty. And then I would also have a notebook, a change of clothes. I mean, if you don't want to always be walking back and forth to the houses because we're a little bit farther away. So bring a change of clothes if you want to do that. I mean, think about if you're taking a day trip somewhere, you want to pack for that full day. So that's Thursday. Now Friday, business casual to business. I believe that's the awards as well.
No.
So,
So let me take you through this. So in the morning, it's the T-shirt, the general session. So you can go
on Thursday.
casual, or you can put the T-shirt on over a business casual, right?
Right.
Thursday afternoon will be training sessions, right? And then after the training sessions that evening, they have the red carpet and award ceremony from the red carpet from 5:30 to 6:30. And if you're there between 5:30 and 6:30, they give you a raffle ticket, and they're giving away $3,000 in prizes, iPads, stuff like that. And then after the award ceremony, which is like 7:30 to 10, there's a after party and dance. So just highlighting that.
Cool.
And the dance in the award ceremony is very formal. When I say red carpet party, it's kind of like the Oscars type thing or something like that.
I know Sam's cover photo is a picture we took there. So another great place for photo opportunities. When you're dressed sharply and you get a picture up on Facebook or Instagram or on a Snapchat, you're going to pique a lot of people's interest. So make sure you look good, and it's okay to bring along extra stuff in your backpack or whatever you're carrying around in, just because Thursday and Friday especially are the most dense full days. So if you're someone who sweats, maybe an extra undershirt, whatever it may be. So Friday, business casual to business. You got the general session in the morning, and then 1:30 to 5 as well. So that's going to be a really full day of learning. And then that night, we're going to do the team dinner party. I'm not positive. Chris, do you have any idea? We're going to do those at the houses?
Yeah, we're going to probably do it at house number 1.
Right, that's the one with the pool. So yeah, we'll do the team dinner party barbecue. So if you're not at that house, if you're one of the people at the hotels across the way, I would recommend bringing a change of clothes. You'll probably have time to go back and change and shower and get ready for the night, which will be a lot more casual. So just keep that in mind. And then Saturday, you got the 5K run in the morning. You have a general session from 10 to 12:30, and then what's nice is we actually get a break in between 12:30 and 3:30, where we'll get together as a team. I know Toasters, which is right by the convention center, is a little TeamVAS private little hideaway. They got really good sandwiches and salads and stuff like that, and we'll just push some tables together and get that going. So team dinner, and then I know for the UU guys, we're definitely going to be doing some sort of game planning session, making some prospecting calls. So by the time we get back to school, we're going to be hitting the ground running. So just be prepared for that. 5K run and walk, I'm going to just get back into that really quickly. I'm about to register tonight. Would recommend, even if you don't think you could run a whole 5K, it's totally cool to walk. I mean, literally everyone big in USANA is going to be there. You're going to have all the guys on corporate. You're going to have Dr. Oz, which is a really sweet selfie if you can grab it. Chris, do you have anything you want to add about Saturday?
Yeah, I do. So yeah, exactly. The money goes to charity. You get a free T-shirt. I'd say if you register now as part of your Wednesday activity, pick up your T-shirt because eventually they run out of T-shirts because a lot of people don't register ahead of time and then they want to do it when they get there. For that event as well, it's like you said, don't be, if you can't run or walk 5 mile or 5K, don't worry about it. You run out to something or walk out to this point and turn around and come back. So if you turn around halfway, it's not like it's a big deal anyway. But it is a huge opportunity to get together, meet new people, get out, get some energy, take a lot of great photo ops with Dr. Oz and everything else like that. And I have a potential idea, but I'd need to know who's all registered ahead of time. They have, you can dress up as a superhero. It's superhero themed, but I have an opportunity to maybe get some luchas masks pretty cheap. So you know what Mexican wrestling is? They call them luchadores or luchas, and the masks that they wear, you can get them pretty cheap. So I think it'd be fun if we all showed up as a team in those and ran in those.
Sweet. I think that would be great and absolutely hilarious. So that's an exciting prospect as well. So let's go through the checklist of to-dos. If you guys got this fired up on your computer, I'd recommend taking a screenshot of this. Order the USANA Convention t-shirts, $5. Sign up for the 5K. Definitely let Chris know if you're going to do that so he can get you your mask, if that's something we're going to do. If you haven't yet, make sure you send me your flight information. Any questions about the ticket, hotel, house details, we're going to be knocking out in the next couple of days. And we're also going to be finalizing payment for that as well. So
I'm going to post a list of everyone that shows up that's registered for convention and make sure your name's on that list.
Cool.
And if it's not, and you bought a ticket, it might mean that you just haven't assigned that ticket to yourself, which you need to do ASAP. Because they're going to call around to all the people that haven't assigned themselves a ticket and see if they're going or not. And they might open up those tickets again.
Yeah, so definitely assign the ticket to yourself. That's huge, huge, huge important. Invite more people. It's not too late. I know I've been making a big push these last couple of weeks to sit down with people, get them excited, and see if I can get them moving towards pulling the trigger to get to convention. For people who are really interested, but just for whatever reason, something's holding them back, the webcast sessions, if you can get them to commit to that, is a great way for them to get some value out of what we're going to be learning from. But if you don't understand this, I mean, getting to the convention actually is the best way to really squeeze everything out of this convention.
Yeah, let me jump in here. It's kind of like watching, a game on TV versus being there live. And when you're watching a webcast, chances are you're jacking around on your phone, you've got other things open, you're looking at other internet screens and whatever else. People are texting and calling, and you're turning around, you're not paying full attention. When you go to a convention like this, you're fully submersed. You're not, attached to anything else. You can't open up another browser window because, you're in the stadium with everything else. So it's an entirely different experience. And I know people have said, oh, I'm going to just, watch it on webcast, and it goes back to the first thing that you saw there with the chart, Yes, people can get good value out of webcasts. And I would also recommend that maybe as a team, certain people get the webcast sessions so that you can go back and rewatch them as a team if you want. But it's just not the same. It's just totally not the same. And you know, the investment in going, just think of it this way: you can make 10 to 30 times your investment back in going or more. And let's just say you invest $1,000 to do it. That's 10 to 30 grand. You know, if you're doing a $20 webcast, you know, even if you get 30 times that back, you're at $60 or $600.
Right.
So it's just an entirely different thing. But you know, for someone, if that's you know what they can do, then go for it. You know.
Right. Right. I mean, you don't see 10 to 30 time returns on Wall Street, that's for sure. So just keep that one in mind too. Order a
And
battery
the
pack.
caveat to that is obviously you have to come back and apply what you learned. But if you go out there and you put everything into it and you come back and apply it, you will do that.
Hmm, definitely. So to order the battery pack, um, it's going to be a really full day, and you're not going to have many opportunities to grab your phone some juice. So if you were ever considering buying one of those Mofis, those charger cases, I would say before convention would be the best time to pull that trigger. And then a battery pack, just something to charge your devices on the go so that you don't have to sit next to a wall. I mean, you'll see those people who are literally sitting next to a wall while there's some sort of breakout session going on, waiting for their phone to get enough juice so that they can go back into the event,
Yeah,
which is
and they're
okay.
getting nothing out of it. The other
Right.
thing is I will post a link. There's a our friend down the hall, Jordan. He is a connoisseur of battery packs, and he's got one that's like $20. That's a phenomenal deal on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, it's what, you know, $20 delivered. Uh, Maybe 30, but I think it's $20. You'll want to order that one, and 4 to 5 people can use that. So what I mean is you charge it overnight, and that'll charge 4 to 5 phones for the day.
Awesome. Well,
And
that's
it
great.
has like 3 jacks on it, so you can charge like 3 phones at the same time even.
So definitely worth pulling the trigger on that, and that's something that you can reuse all the time. That's not just for a convention alone, and those are really great to have as well.
Yeah.
Um,
And when you write it off as an office supply, you know, you're getting like 30% off there too. So it's like getting it for 14.
cool. So this next part is just something I want to touch on briefly with social media, and if you were a part of the Road to Achiever that GSA did, one of the big things they talked about was putting the 14-day kickstart on social media. Now, convention is a really great place to show people what you're doing with USANA. I mean, it's seriously the coolest place that you can display on your social media. But at the same time, with any social media, you know that there's a balance. And if you've never posted about USANA on your social media, you're not going to go from zero to hero at convention where no one's ever heard of this USANA thing that you're doing, and then all of a sudden it's like 50 posts about convention and all these crazy things. So that's going to be, it's going to pique interest, but it might be more of a turnoff than you want. So make sure you're not overdoing social media, but be sure to post at least one thing a day. I would say 1 to 2 things a day tops would be the right number. Um, for me, that's probably what I'm going to be aiming for. But then you also have different avenues like Snapchat where you could be doing a lot more than just 1 to 2 posts per day. So if you're looking at like Instagram and Facebook, 1 to 2 posts per day max. Snapchat, you could really take you through the whole event so people can get an idea and a taste for what you're doing. So consider it as a channel to promote your business and the team and everything that we're doing. Social media, we know, is a huge, huge developing area, especially for network marketing, and convention is a really good place to start doing something like that. Cool. More tips. We kind of just do the manufacturing tour. Drink more water. I I know that I was the most hydrated I've ever been, and what's cool is that the water that they have in convention, Dr. Wentz specifically tells the convention center to turn off the water that they get from the tap, and USANA actually provides their own water. So if you thought this was, a little unclear, Dr. Wentz is really, really serious about this true health thing, and he has uh, triple filter deionized. I'm not sure the exact term, but it's pretty much the purest water that you can get. So whenever you're walking by one of those jugs, just throw it on, and just fill up your water bottle so that you can be drinking it throughout. Even though you're sitting, you're still going to be going through more water than you're used to. Um, by shakes, bars, Rev 3s at convention for food, snacks, and energy. I mean, I actually ended up losing weight. I was in the middle of like a 20 challenge during convention, and I lost between all the walking and all the shakes and bars that I was eating. I actually ended up losing weight, and it's a great place to get products to try out for cheaper than you would by ordering them. The Rev 3 popsicles in the product store are awesome. They actually are awesome. They're so good, and they give you a little burst of energy. And we're lucky enough to have a house, so we'll have access to a kitchen and a refrigerator. So grocery shopping and meal prepping.
Joey, let me just jump in here real quick. One thing that Chris and I are going to bring, and maybe, is that I got these backpacks that hold at least 24 to 30 cans of beer. So the idea being that we could probably buy like a 12 pack or two 12 packs for our team. And, you guys are in fraternities, so pick out, a mascot to carry those around. You know what I mean? And
He's talking about Rev 3s.
Rev 3 cans,
He's
yeah.
talking about,
Yes, definitely clarify that. I don't think we
yeah,
should be pounding beers at convention.
No,
yeah, no. So we
Rev
have
3
the
cans, yeah.
cooler, we have the cooler backpacks. If it makes it easier to take some of those around, or if
The
anyone
problem is
gets.
that like you can carry revs around, but they're never cold or refreshing like how we enjoy them. And I happen to have bought these backpacks that hold like 30 cans of beer, so they'll be ideal for us to bring, to convention and so forth. They won't leak. They'll cold all, so we could designate one person to kind of be the Rev 3 guy, and that'll keep us, going.
Sweet. And that'll also be good for food as well.
Yeah.
If it's a cooler, you can I'm definitely going to be bringing some Tupperware to bring along as well. So bananas, nuts, healthy snacks that don't need refrigeration are really helpful. I know Chris and Brian have these really cool bags are they going to be selling them at convention, guys?
They're not, but I have them available for sale as of today. You'll be seeing some posts.
Okay, how much are they?
Basically, to Chicago for the best deal is getting them in a 12 pack.
Yeah.
So they're $335 for a 12 pack. They're $28 each.
Cool. So for 28 bucks, if we can get enough people in on it, you can have something to bring around your Rev 3 cans, your meal prep food, and you may be thinking 28 bucks, that's kind of steep for a bag, but keep in mind what you'll be saving by meal prepping and bringing the food along with you and shopping at a grocery store rather than running out to Toasters or different restaurants around the area and paying, anywhere from 8 to 15 bucks on a meal. So just by buying that bag and meal prepping and having about 5 to 6 meals, you're pretty much breaking even, and then anything on top of that, you're saving money. So definitely go into it with that mindset. Print out a map schedule. Talked about that before. They will not have them in paper for you. Definitely want to be bringing those around. And then bring chapstick and hand lotion. That was something I threw in. I hate having dry hands and dry lips. So bring those around because the altitude and being a little more dehydrated than normal, you're going to have dry skin. It's pretty uncomfortable. So here's the schedules one more time for all of you guys to just look through. You got Wednesday. I'm just going to keep that up for a minute. USANA Fest is the party that they were talking about. USANA Fest is the one with the concert. So that's the one that's that's outdoors. So what's really cool is they have some guy corporate who are really good at instruments. So that's a really fun thing, and everyone kind of, you see like 60-year-old women dancing like ridiculously, and like, I mean, it's just a ridiculous event. But people are just going all out, having so much fun, and it's nice to see a carefree place where people can just be themselves. and that's kind of like what USANA is, and you'll kind of just see that represented. So that's Wednesday for you. Here's Thursday. Just keep that up for a minute. So you guys, if you're taking notes, you can write that down. 1:30 to 5. You may be thinking, wow, that's a lot of time for workshops. I can guarantee you they fly by. I mean, they seriously go by so quickly. Here's Friday. And Saturday. Saturday's nice because you got some breaks in there. If you want to do some last minute shopping, the Discovery Center, you can hit that up. And then we'll be doing some team stuff as well between that general session ending and the closing general session.
So what I'm going to recommend is during that time is to make sure that you're digesting everything that's happened and you're setting your goals and you're working on action plans and everyone's sharing that together.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you're going to be drinking water from a fire hose as far as the content and information and everything for 3 or 4 days, and you're going to have a million ideas and all these notes, and what you really want to do is make sure that come Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you're going back and you have a plan and you're in action mode.
Right.
And you could even use that time, depending on how we do it, to make a bunch of invites and stuff like that as well. So, but it's a great opportunity to take advantage of all that. I mean, yes, some people are going to want to go, oh, I'm going to go, sightseeing or shopping or whatever else. I mean, that's fine and that's your choice. But I would make sure to take full, like, if you really want to take things to the next step, take full advantage of that time to focus on that and figure and make sure you have a solid plan leaving convention.
Awesome. That's invaluable advice for sure. Cool. And then that's the last note we got. I mean, the more people we get to convention, it's never too late to get someone to commit. So we may be right around, what are we, 3 weeks out, just about, a little over 3 weeks. It's not too late, so keep that in mind as well. Cool.
But one other thing, I know you've kind of said it a few times, but just make sure to say hello to people when you sit, when you get to these sessions. Introduce yourself to the people that are around you, and that's a great way to make new friends and hear about someone else's story with USANA, and that story stays with you, and that's something you can take and share with other people that might be interested in USANA, that have a similar story that you want to share. And you know, like they were saying before, the people that you meet, I mean, they're going to have an opportunity to make friends for a lifetime with this. So take advantage of it. It's like a big family reunion there. But if it's your first time, make sure that you're not like, oh, I don't want to, I'm afraid to talk to the person next to me. Everyone there is super nice. And it's just saying hello, hey, where are you from, and blah, 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 and going from there and sharing stories.
Yeah, just form them. Form them up.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well,
Brian?
thanks for sticking with me during that technical difficulty at the beginning. That was a little frustrating, but glad we
Yeah,
got that
let's,
sorted
let's,
out.
let's open it up for questions. And I don't know if, Brian, you've got any other personal anecdotes or things that you want to share about your experience, or he might be tied up. But anyone else have questions that they want to get answered about convention now?
This is John. I just want to see if you guys could flash that first slide back up there, the one that had like the probabilities of coming out of convention. I missed that. I couldn't. I'm going to see if I can take a screenshot of that.
I'll email that to you, John.
I
But
got it
it's
up for you as well, if you want
yeah,
to do it.
yeah, or you could screen grab it. But it's basically 9 times more likely to rank advance after international convention for people that attend versus people that haven't.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
That's what the numbers break out to, but that's by title. And you could see that, very few to no people are becoming silver, gold, and ruby if they haven't been to convention.
The other thing I would just piggyback on is what my brother said, introducing yourself to people. You never know who you meet serendipitously, and sometimes those people are connections to other relatives in the same area that they live in. And if you make that face-to-face connection and you need help with somebody showing up at a meeting that you can't attend in another state, and they know you, you could say, "Oh, I know Joey," or "I know Chris. Yeah, come on in and we'll help you." Versus, being a bump on the log and I'm not talking to anybody because I'm too cool. That's not the
Right.
attitude you want to bring to this event. A lot of people are willing to share and give their past experiences and what's helped them and what they failed on. And hopefully you don't fail on the same things they do. But a lot of the advice is also freely given. You'll meet some people who, you know, think that they're better than everybody else. But other than that, most people are very level-headed, very open and free, and I think you guys will enjoy the experience a lot.
Yeah, I would say the best example of that was for Sammy, a team member of ours, going to Sweet Retreat. There was no one on our team, our direct upline or downline, who was attending. And I reached out to some of the GSA, to the Team West women, and just told them that my friend Sammy was coming, and they were literally the best hosts anyone could ask for. And I know that wouldn't have happened unless I'd made those face-to-face connections at things like Next Level U and International Convention. So that'd be a great example of that. All right, any other questions, comments? We're going to open it up right before we close this guy out. Bart, I know you've been listening very intently. Danny asked, what's the cost of the 5K? Danny, I bet you could win that 5K too.
There is a prize if you win.
Think about that. Okay. All right.
Now, remember, there's like former Olympic athletes that are associates from all over the world. So there's like dudes from, I think a dude from Japan, the UK, and the US that really run fast, that kind of compete.
So, Danny, you might want to start like halfway up the road and just kind of sneak in there. That might be your best way.
Here's the other thing that I was going to say is back to the 5K is that, for some people, a 5K is a major goal, and doing their 5K at convention makes it even all that more special. And there's still enough time to be able to at least walk it or possibly even jog it. So it's still an option to be able to hit that even if you're not in shape for it,
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Well, great stuff. Who's excited? Yeah.
I'm pumped up, man.
Sweet. All right. I think Fry, you're organizer, so you can close this guy out.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing is that I would say I checked out the like they did on the Golden Above call. They shared some screenshots with us that either will be coming, to Facebook or not. Just some pretty cool stuff like that they have coming on the 25th. That is gonna that's what going back to the $20 webcast. It's just not going to be able to do the new technology justice versus the people that are there to experience it and fully learn it. So, but yeah, some really, really cool stuff. And they keep reiterating that, this will be a day one opportunity again, except, it's $1 billion company already. All right.
And I guess they had that announcement pretty tightly locked down. There's no pre-leaks on what's coming.
Absolutely none. Normally, I have a good in, and I cannot get anything from anyone.
That's pretty good, man.
Yes, it is that good and that tight, and the people that are in the know are like, this is like insane.
That's awesome.
You guys shut the recording off?
Bye.
Hey, thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
I'm recording it.
Well, no, I said if you shut the recording off, I could maybe read something for everyone else on the line.
All right, hold on. What happened to it?